Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session designed to explore a life worth living. And many people have this hesitancy or trepidation, a fear of feeling like they can live a life that is truly enjoyable or fulfilling or wonderful for them. And that is because there is a fear of disappointment, of failure, of rejection, of not being worthy enough. So what this hypnosis session does is it creates a frame to consider the possibility. And I love metaphors, and one of the metaphors that I like to explore something that might not be true for an individual or feel like it's true for an individual, but to explore a possibility is this idea of the multiverse, the infinite parallel universes. So what you're going to hear is a way that the client I was working with could explore a life in which they have the same genetics, the same childhood, but they're living a life where they feel worthy, where they feel happy and strong, and that there's a sense of purpose, and that they enjoy life. But to get to that place, they become the observer first. And that's important because if someone is in a dark, sad place, or they feel that everything is hopeless, they're not associated into the resource states yet. So to just give suggestions of you feel confident, you feel happy, you feel worthy is going to be rejected because they don't in that moment. So you reach a point of observing it as if the resources are there and yet disassociated before you associate into them, and therefore you're creating a stepping stone, a bridge to that resource state. What also is quite useful is this way of accessing gratitude. And normally people that are in this low mood are making evaluations that their life just isn't very good. But if you look at it through the frame of all the things there is to be grateful for, that gives a different perspective. And it's that gratitude that can actually be a window into optimism, hope, and a sense of worthiness. And whatever you are at in your life right now, it's highly likely that your life, even if you don't consider it great, would be a paradise for someone else. Unfortunately, we live in a world where there are war zones, there are famines and poverty, there is modern slavery, there is abuse and torture. And your life, even if it's not something you consider great, would be a dream for someone out there in the world. And to access that place where if you can hear, then you can be grateful for your hearing. If you can see, you can be grateful for your eyes. Counting your blessings, and again, I'm not a religious person, but counting your blessings is a great way to activate the resource state of gratitude. And from that, you can really build on that. And that's a lot of what you're going to hear in this session to make a desirable, appealing pathway of tiny improvements to indeed give you a life worth living. This session was created for a very specific individual. Not all the suggestions are going to be relevant or suitable for you. So just listen to the ones that are, disregard the rest. And if you do want something a bit more bespoke and customized, there will be a link in the show notes that you can schedule a free 30-minute consultation call to explore working with me. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed. Relax and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, that's it, just release any feelings of stress or tension. Relax those eyelids, and with your eyes closed, focus more on the sound of my voice. When you breathe in deeper than normal, and breathe in a wonderful feeling of gratitude. And there are so many things for you to be grateful for. As you breathe in, you can be grateful that you have 2 lungs to breathe in oxygen. You can be grateful that your heart can take that oxygen and distribute it to every cell in your body. As you breathe in and breathe out, you can be grateful for every part of your body. Your fingers and toes, your eyes, your ears. I want you to psychologically scan your whole body as you realize there are people in the world that don't have some of those things that you have. Maybe it's an arm, a leg, your eyesight, your ability to hear. And notice that as you breathe in that feeling of resourceful relaxation and gratitude, it displaces a sense of feeling perhaps ungrateful. There is a law called the law of dominant effect, making it impossible to experience 2 conflicting emotions at the same time. As you breathe in, acknowledge that you live in a part of a world where you have security and safety. Acknowledge perhaps that you have the freedom to choose what to do with your time, with your money. No curfews, no prison cell, no chains. So breathe in and breathe out, and as you tap into that feeling of gratitude, notice that it displaces perhaps other emotions, and feel those other emotions leave your body in that outward breath. The deeper you breathe, the deeper relaxed you become. Just within your mind, imagine a world of infinite parallel universes. That every moment of your life, every major decision, created another reality of you. In which case, there would be trillions of other versions of you that also exist. Some of those would be in a worse situation than you, but more than half would be in a better situation than you. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to seek out the version of you with your exact genetics, the same upbringing as a child. I want you to visit a different reality where you observe yourself living a reality where the only thing that is different are your beliefs and focus, and that change has led to a different physical body, career, and quality of life. just imagine floating up out of your body. And perhaps you could imagine an entirely different universe, and you exist on a different planet Earth. But of all the different versions of you, you're visiting you at your very best. Imagine floating down and just observing your life in that reality. And when you can see that reality, like a tourist visiting a different world, let me know by nodding your head. And just imagine you're a secret observer of this other reality. And I want you to imagine this version of you having a very unlucky day. Maybe you see them and they trip over, have an unexpected bill, something bad happens. But I want you to see how this version of you handles all of those things differently. How quickly they are to attribute those things as just an unfortunate part of life, no big deal. For every problem, there's a solution. That their instinct is to not dwell on negative states. I want you to see a version of you that takes full responsibility, even for those things that had nothing to do with them. That unexpected bill, they're thinking, what can they do to pay it off quickly? They trip over, how quickly they can dust themselves down and carry on with their day. I want you to observe a day where you, at your very best, can handle whatever life throws at you. And if you can see that reality, let me know by nodding your head. And just for a moment, I want you to step into that version of you. Perhaps in the same way that you might try on new clothes in a shop before buying them, I want you to try on this alternative reality. You are still you. You are just you with a different way of thinking. Every problem has a solution. Counting your blessings, things to be grateful for. Highly proactive. Whatever happens, there's always something you can do, an action you can take, a decision to make. I want you to feel resourceful, empowered. And I want you to imagine you are now this person, and I want you to experience what would be a typical day back in your other reality, and just notice how you would deal with the same things differently. Maybe there's a job that you'd want to apply for, and your mentality is, why not? Maybe there's someone you'd like to introduce yourself to. And there is a feeling that, of course, you can. Maybe there are tickets to a place that you'd like to travel in the world. And there is just a sense of, that would be fun. Encounter a day where things don't happen to you. Imagine a day where you are the captain of your own ship. That if there is a storm, you just ride out the storm. If there is an obstacle, you navigate around it. I want you to feel that in this reality, you are more in control. and feel how good it feels to be in control. Not in control of everything, because life is life, sometimes unfair, sometimes unexpected. But that you always have the ability to choose how to respond to different events and situations. If things are good, you can be grateful for them. And if things are not, you can be pragmatic, resolve the situation, or perhaps can be wiser from that very experience. You either win or you learn. And if this feels like a nice place to live, let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to imagine that your reality is merging with this reality, that your neural pathways, beliefs, and ways of thinking are updating to the very best version of you, so that when you return to your reality, you can take this outlook on life with you. But before we do, we need to turn an enemy into an ally. So I want you to leave this other version of you that you're trying on for size. But before you float back to reality, I want you to ask if there is any part of your subconscious mind that is unhappy about change, that is resistant for change, that now is the time for them to be present, because otherwise there's no reason for you not to take this new way of thinking back to your reality. And if there is a part of you resistant to this change, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to ask that part to come forward. I want you to ask that part if it's okay if I speak to that part directly, to enable it to take the driver's seat, to be fully present in you as I communicate with you. And when it's ready to listen to my words directly, let me know by nodding your head. I know you're scared. I know you're scared of becoming irrelevant. I know that you care deeply. I know that you've only ever wanted the best, to protect, to help, to avoid guilt, shame, or failure. I know all along that the heart has been in the right place. And if that's true, let me know by nodding your head. You're not haunting. You're not cursing. You can just feel that way sometimes, like an overprotective parent. Sometimes what is known feels safer. And I know you're scared that this happy, responsible, proactive future feels like it doesn't include you in it. But it does. Because you are essential to this new future. You are aware of all of the pitfalls, all of the problems, all of the difficulties, and I think you've been trying to protect from all of those problems. But if a mother protects a child by never letting it leave the home, it may be a child that doesn't get sick or injured, but it's a child that doesn't have a childhood. And I'm wondering if you're willing to evolve to even more responsibility. That rather than protecting through fear of what might go wrong, I want you to acknowledge what might go wrong and encourage them through it, letting them know that they become stronger and more resilient with every attempt. They become wiser. Everything that doesn't quite go to plan is a feedback loop. And if you're willing to take on this new role of using hope and inspiration rather than fear and bleakness as the tool to create safety, but also a pathway to growth, to new experiences. The biggest fear isn't that something may go wrong. The biggest fear is to live a life unlived. And you can avoid that fear from happening by being an empowering, encouraging voice, guiding them to trust that when they make decisions, the decisions will either be right or a learning experience. That they can be protected from a fear of rejection or failure by seeing it as an ever-lasting feedback loop. And if you're willing to take on this new role, a role more important than you've ever had before, to be a guide, a north star, a shining light towards that desirable future, and creating safety through decision making and resilience, let me know by nodding your head. Because in that future, you are indispensable. You are always going to be wanted and needed because you will be the most important voice. You will be the voice. And if you're willing to take on this challenging, difficult role, opening up doors of new possibility, new adventures, yes, there's risk, but also infinite rewards. And if you're ready to step up to that new level of responsibility, you've had years of scaremongering, using guilt and shame. You're powerful because of what you created, but you can do that too easily. This new future requires instilling belief, enthusiasm, hope, and passion. And you've seen that future, and I think you want to be part of that future, perhaps the most crucial part of that future. No longer cursing, no longer haunting, no longer being the cause of the problem. You can be the solution to the problem. And if you're willing to be that voice, let me know by nodding your head. And now take your normal position so your inner dialogue is exactly where it used to be. You are now the coach, the mentor, the champion, the cheerleader. And I want you to test out this new role by saying a few things that would create a sense of belief that this new future is now not just possible, but inevitable. Just try saying a few words to lead that level of hope to turn into action that would then have a ripple effect to real world results. just realize you're going to get better and better at this with practice. Looking for things to be grateful for, new risks to take, particularly those with no downside. They say more than 50% of success is just turning up, applying for the role, doing the thing, making one decision. And I want you to feel that all of those years of being cursed or haunted feels like they're all fading away, and instead a door of hope has opened, and when you're ready to walk through that door to this new future where the very best version of you feels like you're present here in the moment, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. Now it's time to return to the present, taking all of those updated beliefs, thoughts, and neural pathway changes with you into the present moment, that the very best version of you is now you, willing to think how you would think, to create a ripple effect in your life of powerful, self-fulfilling prophecies that you now feel worthy, enthusiastic, and willing to build positive momentum. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, connect fully with the present moment as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.